Hello, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. So, on Sunday, I continued our series on Nehemiah. I was looking at Nehemiah 4, 5, and 6, especially 4 and 6, where Nehemiah inevitably encounters a load of opposition and criticism. And I say inevitably because we're told that in any kind of new project, any new group, there's the forming stage, the storming stage, which is all this opposition, and then the norming stage where everything kind of normalizes again, and then the performing stage where you produce good stuff. So I wanted to focus on this experience that Nehemiah has. They're starting to build the wall. It's all very exciting, but before long, we read that they're getting criticised from this whole list of people. And I think the writer of the book picks these groups of people to highlight these people groups because it symbolises like criticism from the north, the south, the east, and the west. And the sense you get from reading it is that Nehemiah and the people building this wall just cannot catch a break. And maybe you've experienced this, that there's just a, I'm not saying you've had a bad day, I'm saying a season in your life where it just feels like everywhere you look, you're just taking it, you're just taking hits. You just, nothing seems to go right. You're getting barrage of criticism. And I was sharing on Sunday that so often this voice of Sanballat, who's this key kind of critic of Nehemiah all the way through the story, sometimes we have those people, like people who are kind of having a pop at us. But so often that's an inner voice. And the quote I used on Sunday that too often we listen to our inner voice, we don't speak to our inner voice. We listen to ourselves, we don't speak to ourselves. And what Nehemiah does is two things which I think are really powerful, a powerful model for us to copy when we're really struggling, when we're going through criticism and hard time and opposition. He does two key things. The first one is he prays. And the model he gives us for praying is a very honest kind of prayer. Certainly, the first one that he does in chapter 4 is very raw, it's very angry, and there's absolutely a place for that. If you feel like that, then I think it's important. I mean, God knows how you feel, doesn't he? So I think there's an element of just being honest. Find somewhere that you can shout, that you can get it off your chest. Nehemiah prays, and the other thing Nehemiah does is he acts and he gets a strategy. Often criticism comes to us, but it's an opportunity for learning. So Nehemiah is getting all this criticism that, oh, the wall's not tall enough and the foxes will knock it down or whatever. And then what he does is he positions people where the walls are lower. And I think there's a encouragement for us there to pray and to act. To pray like everything depends on God, to act like everything depends on us. If we've got a burden, if we've got a call to do something, we know that it's not going to be easy, so we pray, but we also know that it is our responsibility to do something. So we just keep on building one more brick, one more brick, one more brick, and build the wall. Right between those two chapters of 4 and 6, where there's criticism, there's chapter 5, where it turns out that the people building the wall have imported some of the ideas of empire into the way they treat others. They're treating people really poorly. They're ripping off the poor. And I think there's a lesson for us there to make sure that when we're involved in big projects, when we're called to do something, that it doesn't become our empire that we are building, but instead we are growing a kingdom that puts people right at the heart of it, especially the downtrodden and especially the marginalised. Anyway, have a good time as you chat about this evening or this afternoon or this morning. Whenever you're chatting about it, I just hope you have a good time. Bye.